Hello everybody and welcome to another Transformers review thanks to the guys at TF Direct. Today I'm taking a look at the Weijiang M-01B Commander, and this time we have Black Apple signing our boxes again. Now this is the kind of Nemesis Prime Scourge version of their M-01, the oversized Evasion Optimus Prime. The box has a nice, clean, professional feel to it, and on the back we have Black Apple signing it again. We have robot model, vehicle model, and leadership style, Eternal Fire. And here he is out of his plastic prison. He looks so much better in this paint scheme. He has that wow factor. Again, if you've watched my damaged version, the M01D, I kind of lost that feeling about him. He didn't have that wow factor anymore. I loved the original, and when the damaged version came out, it just felt, I don't know, kind of lackluster, I guess, and like they hadn't put in much effort with that paint scheme. But having this version in hand, it is absolutely sublime. Just look at the pinstriping there along the side of those flames. That translucent red is just gorgeous. You just get lost in it, and I've used the same red for the window sections on the back of the arms. Now I absolutely hate this elbow joint. They've carried that over from the original Hasbro release. Hey, beggars can't be choosers. So if you don't own any versions of this mold, this to me was a defining moment for the knockoff toys. I made a scale basically based on these toys. From a scale of 1 to 10, these are the top of the range. These are 10s, and this and the MPP-10, fantastically made, very professional, better, in my opinion, than Takara. And obviously you get other brands like the KBB, the Cubon Bao, which are very similar, kind of scoring on a high 8 or high 9. But yes, these are pretty much the best you're going to get when it comes to a bootleg, so to speak. Looking at some of Prime's accessories, you can see here I've got him holding his gun already. You've got the circuitry sections being highlighted with black here, and kind of a charcoal smoked grey being used for the gun itself. We have his Energon axe being done in an absolutely stunning purple. What a fantastic colour. Again, even though it's been cast in a black plastic, we don't lose any of that detailing. Although mine is a little bit warped. It does tend to bend over slightly, but I like that. That purple is such a lovely colour. We get not one, but two of his Energon swords, again cast in this black and translucent purple. The high gloss black paint is really nice. It's not applied overly thick. It's enough so you don't lose any detailing, and the colour itself is very, very bold. There are a couple of sprue marks still slightly visible, but just like there, look. But all in all, they're very nice weapons. We get his large shield, again painted up in this very high gloss black, and these purple translucent sections. Now mine must have been put back in the packaging kind of wet still and damp, because it's a little bit tacky along the outside edge there, and it looks like there's some fingerprints or something where it's been placed on. That's a shame. I mean, you're not going to see that side of it, but that's a bit of a QC slip up there in my opinion. And last but not least, we get his battle mask, again cast in this black plastic, painted up with the high gloss and the highlighted silver accents. Now, if this is your first time experiencing this mold, it's basically taking the Hasbro mold, blown it up and above the size of the MP10, and basically made it a very, very decent mold. They've done some modifications. They've added sections on the side here. They've got movable wheels from the hips that go down to the legs. It looks the bee's knees. We have articulation on the hands, and of course they come with this huge melee of weapons. I think Weijiang did a cracking job with this piece. I know they're rinsing it for every penny they can, but hey, why not? Like the other versions of this mold, M-01B can have his chest section open up, and he has that dark matrix in there with, again, that really nice deep purple. Can't beat a bit of deep purple. One thing I really am impressed with is how tidy they've got Prime to look from behind. They've made that kibble work exceptionally well, and it's given him a very sleek, slender look. We have an almost coppery colour being used on the cogs there. Now mine is not without fault. You do have a few marks on the back here. It's very hard to notice them, but they are there nonetheless. So it's not perfect, but my gosh, it's really not that far off. Of course, we can bring this section up, and we can have the two wheel options on the legs if you see fit. Let's cover the articulation. Prime's head is on a swivel. You can't move it directly left to right because it kind of bumps over. You can lift it up and go left and go right. You can look up that much and down that much, so we can really look down at his enemies. The shoulders can come out that far, down that far, forwards and backwards on a friction joint. We do have that bend at the elbow on a soft ratchet. The wrists rotate. They do pivot forward and backwards, which I love, especially when you have swords. And the fingers are pinned through the middle. They do look like they're separate, but they're not. I hope somebody like KFC do additional hands that we can swap out for these, because I love fully articulated hands. We do have a ball jointed thumb, and again, no bend on that thumb. It just looks like there is. Coming down to the waist does rotate quite nicely there. It does kind of hit into these wheel sections, but there is enough play in the wheels so we can get a nice range going on there. No forward and back on the ab crunch. Legs can come this far forwards, that far back. As you can hear, it's on a very nice ratchet. Again, moving this leg out, we can get full range. The wheels tuck nicely into the side of the body when doing a high kick. We have a bend at the knee, a little over 90 degrees. That's a very nice bend in my opinion. The knee guards can move up and down. We do get an inner thigh rotation. Coming down to the feet, we have forwards and backwards, and we also have tilt and an individual tilt on the toe. So yes, I know we see it done time and time again. M01 is articulated enough to pull off that very nice superhero landing pose. For a quick scale comparison, here he is alongside MP-P10B and of course the shattered glass MP-10KO. Now before we get him transformed up, we do get the option to store his gun in the form of smokestacks on his back. You basically pull these two sections apart and basically rotate each one of these sections around, and using this peg on the back here, you're going to come and just peg those in on either side. Now personally, I'm not a huge fan of how that looks, but I think the option to do it is a nice addition to the mold. Right, now let's start to transform him up. If you haven't seen the transformation, then it's pretty straightforward-ish. You want to rotate the toes around. You want to push this section here so it goes through. And this section is going to come all the way up. As it comes up, bring this section back, and that just sits down nicely into this gap here. This section is folded over the wheel. That's just going to come up. That's going to sit up nice and high. You're going to straighten out that leg, and then you're going to bring this section all the way down and around and in like so. And those feet just tab together nicely. There's a tab here, here and here, and that looks nice. The rear end there, that's nice with those purple lights and the purple light there on the wheel guards. Open up both of these sections from Prime's chest, grab this black section here, and you're going to lift that up like so. You can then push down on here, and that allows us to untab these shoulder pieces. So push down and untab, and again on this side, push down and untab. Rotate these black back wings down, pull this back section back and lift that up, and you want to turn up the side sections on both sides. Fully extend these side panel sections with the smokestacks on, and make sure the arm is out straight. Make sure Prime's legs are facing backwards. Rotate his head around. Bring this back section up, and as you bring it up, Prime's head is going to sit nicely in amongst this gap. As we bring this shoulder section down, make sure that the smokestack section is gone to the back. And as we do, bring that section forward. It's starting to look a mess, isn't it? Now, as we poke the head in, leave this section up now because it really does help with clearance. Bring the cab section forward so it's actually slanted downwards. It gives us a lot more room to play with. And as we bring this side section down, we can now bring this arm up and bring that down. And this is now going to allow us to come up and bend over. Those fists at the top here, and to actually open those up, have them rotated round, and using that new wrist joint they've added, have them face downwards like so, and then we can just push this section into place, and then we can just open up those wing mirrors on the side, rotate this front section up like so, bring this section inwards, and just tuck everything in. It tucks in nicely on both sides, like so. And like so. And then just bring this section of the front of the cab down. These sections on top here go up and over and actually just slide under the lip of that, securing everything nice and tightly into place. You just need to grab this and tilt it up one like so. There's a small gap on the underside there where the wheels slide in and locate, and these sections can just come under and cover up that joint. Now, before we close off these back door sections, these hinges here need to be at a kind of right angle. They need to go like that and like that. So as you can see, that hinge there, you just need to push that back so it's like that angle there. Close this door section off. It just goes just under the lid like so, and then we can bring these back up, and they're going to tab in on the back like so. Then lift the smokestack up and then bring them around to the back. They roll quite nicely, don't they? I like the chrome on these wheels. And there we have him all transformed up into his vehicle mode. I would have personally have liked them to include a human-esque figure to be included like they do with the MPP-10s, but I don't know, it's a very nice figure. It's a really good use of the mold. The truck itself looks absolutely phenomenal. Love the pinstriping along the front there. Love the red windows. Mine doesn't really want to line up perfectly. I got told if I reverse the head like I did, then that would line up a little bit better, but it doesn't quite. Not too keen on those shiny metallic windows at the side. I guess that's how they had to do it. But all in all, I think it looks pretty darn nice. Now, of course, we can bring in those that we transformed earlier on. They can just peg in on the side there. I think that makes a bit of a difference. That kind of fills out that small hole. There we go, just have those tucked in there. And of course, this is also compatible with the MPP-10 oversized trailer. I don't know if they're going to do a Nemesis style trailer. I'm really not certain if that's going to be a thing. It would look nice. I mean, would you guys buy it if they did? Would you be happy just using your MPP-10 trailers? I mean, let's be honest, it doesn't actually come with insignia as standard, so you could just stick a big Decepticon logo on the side. And for a quick size comparison, here he is alongside Shatterglass MP10. And just a thank you to TF Direct for hooking me up with my missing bumper. Mine arrived without one. So when I did a review, it was missing one, and they managed to hook me up with another one. So thank you again. And I seem to have knocked my wiper off. That's going to be somewhere in a box. Great, just what I wanted, to find a small, tiny little bumper in a big box of bits. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is very well made. It's painted up to an absolutely astonishing, glorious piece of transformerness. I love the clear translucent red used. The grey is a very nice touch. Would have liked maybe a chrome on the front there, but beggars cannot be choosers. He looks fantastic in robot and vehicle mode, and it's a big step up. I didn't like the M-01D, and this one has definitely reprised my love for Black Apple's modified Evasion mode Optimus Prime. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. If you found this video useful, give it a big thumbs up and share it amongst your friends and family. If you haven't already subscribed, then please do, so I'm in your newsfeed with all my up and coming awesome reviews. Make sure you check out TF Direct by clicking the link in the description below. And until next time, from myself and M-01B Commander, goodbye.